So after we talked about combining like terms, all right, the next thing that we looked at here is evaluating an expression. Evaluating just means plug a number in for the variable and then literally evaluate, simplify until you find the numerical answer. All right. The main thing with these that I would say to be careful about is make sure when you plug a number in for x that you use parentheses. That's especially important if there's a negative. Okay, so like here, I want to plug in -2 everywhere I see x. All right, but I'm going to make sure that when I do that, I put it in parentheses. Okay, so this expression is negative. Then I've got an x, so I'll plug that in parentheses, and it's squared. Then it's +3, and I've got an x, so I'll plug in -2 in parentheses there, and then -10. Okay, and remember, exponents come first, right? So you have to go ahead and raise this to the second power before you apply that negative out in front. So don't make the mistake of thinking those two negatives are going to make a positive, right? That negative is out in front, and -2 squared is a +4. All right, then I'll have 3 times -2, so -6 there, and -10. All right, so this first part here, we're looking at -4 plus -6, right? Or -4 minus 6. Either way, that's going to be -10. And then -10 minus 10, or plus a negative. And this will evaluate to -20. Okay, so use parentheses when you're plugging in, especially when there's a negative. All right, when you're working with fractions, just remember that coefficient is multiplied out in front of the x. So here, if I want to evaluate for 5/2, right, the coefficient there is 4. And then the x that I'm plugging in here is 5/2 minus 7. Okay, now, always be careful when you're dealing with fractions, right? This is like 4/1 times 5/2. Multiply across the top and across the bottom, and that lets me know this will simplify to 10. So this becomes 10 minus 7 and evaluates at 3. All right, so evaluate just means plug in the x and get the numerical value. All right. You can use the process of evaluation to determine if something is a solution. Okay, so if you're looking to see if something is a solution, that means you should be able to plug the number into the equation, right? It'll have an equal sign because it is an equation if you're looking at a solution, and determine if it is a true statement. If it gives you a true statement, then yes, it is a solution. If it gives you a false statement, then no, it is not. All right, and just like we did before, you're plugging in, so make sure that you use parentheses. All right, so I've got 3, then x, which is -4, and that's squared, plus 2x, which is -4, and the equation says this is equal to 40. All right, so I'm just going to simplify and see if I end up with a true statement or a false statement. Okay, so we've got 3 times, and -4 squared is 16, positive 16. 2 times -4 is -8. And we've got equal to 40. Okay, so 3 times 16, do your multiplication before addition and subtraction, 48 minus 8. And then you can see here, right? This is going to lead me to a true statement. I end up with 40 equals 40. I say that is a true statement. So the answer is yes. -4 is a solution to that equation. All right, if you end up with something that is not true, like this example over here, right, 8 is equal to 5, that's a false statement. That's how you know that the x value is not a solution.